What's good, Finn Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. I hope everyone is doing well today on this beautiful June 13th afternoon. I was originally going to have the video with Jared Dokes popping off tonight, but I'm actually going to do that tomorrow night instead since we got this video going on. Martin, what is
Yes,
good,
sir.
bro? How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. Good, chilling. Hands up, everybody.
All right, so let's hop right into it. EM should be joining at some point too. I will be opening up the show for a little bit as well. I'll be live till about 5:15, I think, tonight. So, um, all right. So here's the thing: Jerome Baker has. Let's hop right into it, bro. Let's not waste a single solitary moment. As of
Mhm.
about almost an hour ago, um, the Dolphins and Jerome Baker have agreed on a 3-year contract extension worth $39 million, including $28.4 million of that guaranteed. Now,
Hmm.
this works out to about $9.47 million a year. All right. When you look at the guaranteed money, when you look at it all together, this is about $13 million a year. Um, Here's the thing, and what people need to realize, guys. Jerome Baker is now the 6th highest paid linebacker in the NFL. And we have I know, you're like choking on that. We've highlighted numerous times Jerome Baker's limitations, what he does well, what he doesn't do well. Now that he is the 6th highest paid linebacker in the NFL, Martin, is it imperative that he now becomes a all-purpose 3-down linebacker and finds some efficiency and some consistency against the run, against traffic, and getting through blockers, because those are 3 major key things. His read and recognition skills that aren't good enough aside, those are 3 major things that you need for someone to be the 6th overall paid linebacker in
Mhm.
the NFL. Just your thoughts on the extension and the steps forward that Jerome Baker needs to take right now.
Right, right. Well, first off, as soon as I seen the news pop up, it was like one of those, double takes, like, hands over my eyes, like what, like what the. However, um, those guys that are putting these together, contracts and players, you know, putting the team together, they know more than what we can kind of fathom as far as their true impact in not only on the field but in the locker room, off the field. Um, Jerome Baker is a piece that they want around moving forward. Now, as far as what you were just explaining, it's like you're the 6th highest paid linebacker in the league now. Jerome knows that. Jerome understood the numbers. He understands what comes with those numbers. And I can only hope that Jerome Baker takes that next step that we've been kind of, crossing our fingers that he would take after McMillan was let go. Now KVN was let go. Jerome, take that next step, be that guy that we need as an impactful linebacker in this defense, because outside of our secondary and our front, our defensive line, linebacker core is arguably the not the I'm not gonna say like the weakest, but they're not our strength, defensively. Now with these numbers in place, who knows what happens when that type of money is put on you as far as responsibility. But I would hope that Jerome takes that next step and becomes what you're explaining, that 3-down, specialty linebacker where he just never gets off the field. I hope that's the case when he put that pen to that paper, because to be paid like this, you have to be that guy.
Yeah. The other thing too, like when you talk about this, he did identify in his recent media availability that he has been working on becoming better against the run. If he cannot give us anything against the run, he's going to be limited to the off-ball role that he succeeded mostly at last year. And to me, if that happens, this would end up being an overpayment. Like I cannot stress enough to people. I see everyone, because people fall in love with the player, right? Like,
True.
Everyone likes Jerome Baker, his personality, how infectious he is. You know what I mean? He's a team player. But the fact of the matter is, when you're getting paid that money, I need results. I don't give a fuck who likes you and who doesn't. You know what I mean? And, here's the thing, too. I wanted to, I said this on Larry's panel. I'm going to tell you this, okay? Everyone talks about his coverage skills, my friend. All right? Week 1 against New England, he allowed an NFL passer rating when targeted of 118.8. Week 4, when we faced Seattle, okay, he allowed a 117.7. Week 9 against Arizona, 108.3. Week 14 against KC, 116.7. Week 15, New England again, 101.7. The final week of the season against Buffalo, 106.3. He had allowed an overall NFL passer rating when targeted of 98.3. Even the coverage skills need to improve a little bit, I think, too. He allowed 44 receptions on 59 targets last year, which means he allowed a reception percentage against of 74.6. So that means 75% of the balls thrown his way were completed. Now, people want to ask, two things that stand out too. When he was targeted, the yards per reception when he was targeted was 9.2. All right. Like, for example, when he in that KC game, brother, yards per reception when he was targeted, 23 yards. He allowed 3 receptions for 69 yards that game. New England in week 1, 16.7 yards per reception. And then when they faced him again, he bettered. He allowed 8.4 yards. Buffalo, 13.3 yards per reception when he was targeted. And the other thing, too, is the yards after the catch need to be limited. He allowed 194 yards after the catch last year. That needs to be limited. You know what I mean? And, now that you are, the 6th highest paid linebacker in the NFL, those numbers need to dip a little bit. What do you think about that when we break down the actual analytics?
Who's his linebacker coach again?
What right now?
Well, just I guess last year and this year, man. Because okay. So the only thing I would say as far as any type of encouragement is if he did give up over 70% completions when the balls were thrown his way, how tight was that coverage? Like, do they have like a analytic of the
No, they don't
separation?
Have no.
Oh, okay, because that's also important. There's some players out here like a Travis
and
Kelce,
Anthony Campanelli is the linebackers coach.
Anthony Campanelli, okay. And I'm just saying that there are receiving targets out here that can make tough catches in the NFL, but in Jerome Baker's case, how tight is that coverage for real? And if it's to where he's just getting routed up and he just looks like he can't cover nobody, that'll be an issue. But if we go back and watch the film and he's like on top of guys' hips and they're just making those completions, those tough completions, then that's another story altogether. But that's a very high completion rate, bro. Just being honest. Like if I'm a quarterback, that's who I'm targeting in the middle. But I would say if he has any type of anything going for him is with the secondary the way it is and with the front the way it is, he's gonna have a real kind of freedom to make plays like when the plays come to him. I want to see him like I keep saying, he has a good amount of money in his pocket right now.
Oh,
He
yes, sir. Yes.
knows he has to step up, and knowing what he has behind him in the secondary and what's in front of him on the defensive line, he has to he has to be that dude now, bro. Like for real.
Yeah, I mean, and you all know how I feel. I don't think they're the gospel by any stretch of the imagination, but when you talk about coverage, okay, he had a 61.3 coverage grade last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was 60th best out of all linebackers.
Mm.
Bernardrick McKinney, who we all know coverage is not his game, actually graded out higher last year in coverage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
That that
again, again, you all know I do not feel like they are by any stretch of the imagination. They are not the end all be all, but you're all lying to yourself if you think he's a Levante David in coverage or a Fred Warner or even
absolutely
KJ
not.
Wright, who we were looking at, or
Mm-hmm.
you remember the free agent that I wanted to bring in, Denzel Perryman. He's even better in coverage and he's a thumper too. He's a more well-rounded guy. The thing that's gonna stick out, people, is he got paid like he's a well-rounded out linebacker. And what I'm stressing to all of you right now is that as of June 13th, 2021, he is not that.
Mm.
Now, can the season start and he shows us he is? Hell to the yes. Of course. The
Mm-hmm.
season hasn't begun yet. There's no denying that. I'm not going to sit there and say that, but I'm saying as of June 13th, he is not. A guy
Mm-hmm.
who can't play through traffic, who's okay in coverage, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. And a
Um,
decent blitzer.
yeah, decent blitzer, right? When you manufacture up the pressure for him, he can make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, his biggest strength is he has elite pursuit speed.
Yes.
His read and recognition skills. You can go back to my video of why Jerome Baker is not, my film study of why he is not a Mike linebacker. And I told y'all right there, and I gave y'all instances of why he's not a Mike linebacker because and read and recognition skills are one of the big things. But he's got to, I need that completion, that reception percentage to be
Mm-hmm.
down in the 60s.
If that, I want to say make it 50-50, man. Get
Oh, hey,
six
yeah.
six
Oh, for
highest.
sure. But hey, I agree
Give
with
him the
you.
benefit of the doubt.
And I need run stops.
That's and honestly, that's the reason why I'm kind of confused as to the extension for him and not just waiting for the season to kind of play out versus Bernardrick McKinney because
Oh, we're gonna get into it. Yeah.
I'm just saying McKinney has been that guy to stuff the run, make tackles behind the line of scrimmage, like relatively consistently throughout his career. And in Baker's case, that hasn't quite been the case. But again, with McKinney in the building, who knows if he's rubbing shoulders and just getting small pointers because again, in the NFL, everybody's good, but it's best to master your craft, which is your eyes, your feet, and your hands. And just having a McKinney there to just listen to and be around that could rub off on Jerome the right way, and we can probably, possibly start seeing that type of linebacker play out of him.
I mean, again, they're not the end all be all by any stretch of the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But I want people to realize where we're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you know what his run defensive grade was last year? Just throw out a number. You know the base that they start at is 65.6. Throw out a number of what you think his run grade was last year by Pro Football Focus. And
By
again,
PFF.
they're not the end all be all. I want people to realize that 110%.
PFF.
I want you to throw out a number. What do you think his run grade was last year?
I see a 55, just like his number.
No, you're not that. Hey, you're not that far off. 47.4.
Wow.
He was the 127th ranked when in terms of run defense grades by PFF last year.
Mm.
Now,
Mm.
when you talk about run stops, okay, and if everyone knows what a run stop is, that's basically when, you are stopped in and around the line of scrimmage, okay, in the run game. He did rank fairly high with run stops. Okay. He had
Mm-hmm.
39 runs. I believe. What did he have? I think he had 39 run stops. Let me just make sure here. So, yeah, he did have 39 run stops from what I'm seeing here.
Mm.
So, I mean, he can, and that ranked him for, let me that ranked him. Oh, my mistake. He did not have 39. He had, let me see here. Just give me a sec here. He had, we're talking about, run, play, tackling. Run stops, he had 39 stops in total, but those aren't not run stops. He had, let me bring it up here for you. He had, oh man, I'm gonna actually have to skim through this right now.
Mm.
He had, he didn't make the top, so he had less than 17. He had, let me see if I can find his name. Like looking through a needle in the haystack right now. Okay, so he was 53rd. He had 16 run stops. And his run stop percentage was very low. It was 5.3%.
Mm-hmm.
So on 5.3% of run plays against him, he had a run stop.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that's the
Areas of
percent.
improvement.
The stop percentage is the percentage of a player's run defense snaps where he was responsible for a stop,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Areas to
had
improve.
5.3.
Areas to improve. I got you. I got you.
So what we're doing is making the point right now is he needs to improve in a lot of areas right now,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and my thing is they paid him like he's already improved in that stuff. So for their sake, I'm hoping he improved in that, because this is going to be a contract we're going to look back on and we're going to be like, did you make the right move? And
Mm-hmm.
let's get into this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Ogbah and Xavier Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the key thing. Xavier Howard has no more guaranteed money left on his contract. That is why he wants
A new
an
contract.
extension.
Mm-hmm.
Ogbah is coming off of a season where, I keep telling people, this is the reality right now of where Ogbah's at. Ogbah had arguably his best season in the NFL.
Yep.
I mean, would many people
Arguably.
argue that?
Mm-hmm.
When you break down what Ogbah did last year, I mean, you're talking about third most pressures for a defensive end in the NFL at 66. He had the fifth most sacks for a defensive end at 9.5, and he had the second most hurries at 44 in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And when this is this is a scheme that's predicated on pressure, right? And
Yes.
when he had the third most, because he was mainly on the interior, when he had the third most, that's huge. All right. And here's the thing, guys, I want to stress, because there's now 200 people in the room. Jerome Baker is now the sixth highest paid linebacker in the NFL. The sixth.
Top 10.
He is now
Mm-hmm.
a top 10 paid linebacker in the NFL, people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear no excuses.
Yeah,
All right?
boy.
And
Yeah,
you
man.
got Xavier Howard, and you got to ask yourself the legitimate question: Are Xavier Howard and Emmanuel Ogbah going to be sitting back and feeling away? Now, Emmanuel Ogbah, you've proved it 1 year here. You do not, you don't have as much of a ground to stand on as a guy like Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard is now, he's known he wants the extension. Here's the thing. Xavier Howard is a top 3 at his position. He justifies the extension of being paid like top 3 at his position. Jerome Baker is not top 10 at his position.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People can love the guy. People can love the fact that he's a team player and he's willing to do whatever when Flores loves. That's fine and dandy. Jerome Baker is not a top 10 linebacker in the NFL. And if you believe he is, you're lying to yourself just to make yourself feel better about how much you just got paid. So here's my thing right now. You've got mandatory minicamp, my friend, starting on Tuesday. Right? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Angry homie, it's a team-friendly deal. People don't realize that. He's the 6th highest paid linebacker in the NFL. How is that team-friendly? Jesus Christ. Team-friendly when you make him the 6th highest paid linebacker in the NFL. Are you for real? My whole thing is you are not. He is not a top 10 linebacker. I just went over it. I literally just went over it. I literally just proved. I don't hold PFF in the highest regard, but they back up a lot of what we see. What did I say he was ranked against the run?
Was it 53rd?
53rd ranked against the run out of all linebackers in the NFL.
For run stops, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, good God, people.
100. Would you say 137th in coverage or 147th in coverage?
Okay, so no, he is in when you look at and run defense, like overall run defense, he's 127th in the NFL in run defense, okay? By ranking. Now, when you look at against the pass, right? In coverage, when you look at his grade in coverage, he is in coverage, he is, I think that's where he falls in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. In coverage, he's 60th.
Okay. All right. I got him. I got him miss.
Yeah.
Man.
And in run stops, he only, out of run plays to his side to him, he had a 5.3% run stop rate, which was like in the hundreds as well.
Well, we gotta see, man. There's a lot of players on this team that gotta prove a lot of stuff, man. Let me tell you. From draft position to contracts, everybody gotta prove a lot, bro. Let's see.
So
let's see if he's gonna eat, man.
This goes back to what me and Am talked about utilizing the resources.
Back to that. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Kareem, I already killed the whole coverage. He's not elite in coverage. He allows a 98.8 passer rating when targeted, 74.6 reception percentage when targeted, over 160 yards after the catch last year allowed by Jerome Baker. He allows 9.2 yards per reception. That's a first down every time he's targeted, basically. Stop lying to yourselves to make yourself feel better. He's the 6th highest paid linebacker in the fucking NFL right now. Like,
We got to
seriously.
see. Yeah, we got
Take
to
your
see.
homer
Man.
hat off and take your blinders off.
We got to see.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm literally giving you guys analytics and you guys want to look away from it. Seriously. Take the grades out. Yeah, eyes are everything, Keith. That's why I made a fucking video. Go back to week 2 against Buffalo when he's playing the mic. What happened? You literally see on film. Don't tell me eyes are everything. My eyes are better than yours, Keith. All right? What happens? He says to Van Noy, mirror the running back coming out of the backfield. Van Noy looks at him and nods. What does Jerome Baker do? He mirrors the running back with Keith Smith, and Josh Allen goes up the middle for 17 yards because there's no linebacker there. Because he has poor read and recognition skills. Stop. Stop. 6th highest paid linebacker in the NFL. Stop right now. Do I like the kid? Yes.
Yeah, we all love him.
Do I like the kid? Yes. But y'all are just trying to justify this.
The numbers, man.
6th
the numbers
highest
don't
paid
equate.
linebacker, and people are trying to justify this. The stats in the film does not back that up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The analytics, beyond the stats, the analytics do not back it up. Stop lying yourselves. Oh, $13 million is a great deal. You're paying this guy the 6th highest contract of any linebacker, and analytically, statistically, and tape-wise, he does nothing that's in the top 10 in the NFL. And he had 100 tackles. Again, go watch the film. How many of those tackles happened 4 or 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage when the blocker disengaged from him? The majority. Bro, he's not making tackles at the line of scrimmage. That's what these people do not understand. Because they're a bunch of casuals who sit on the fucking couch and watch the game. They watch it once and then it's done. I go back and I watch L22. I played the game. Martin played the game. And we're not going to lie to you. Yes, we like the kid. Yes, he has certain things he does well. Tell me, other than his pursuit speed, what elite trait does he have? And what's even funnier is people, I trust the coach. You're not a coach. Well, guess what? Go back, watch my film study. I said he wasn't a Mike linebacker and he's best used as an off-ball blitz or blitz in between the tackles. What did they do with him after I said that? 2 weeks after I said that, they started doing that with them, and that's where he got his most success. So guess what? I proved right there I know what the fuck I'm talking about, because they basically did what I said you got to do with them, and they found the most success they found with them.
Rough, man. Rough contract. But again, the best part about this reason is,
are you stupid, angry homie? I'm literally about to block your ass, bro. Are you you're saying Raekwon Davis is trash? The guy, Pro Football Writers of America, all rookie team. Are you stupid, bro? Emmanuel Ogbah, 3rd in pressures for any defensive end. 5th in sacks for any defensive end. Top 3 in hurries for any defensive end. Are you stupid, bro? Like, seriously, are you stupid? You don't even know what you're talking about, bro. That's actually the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Stop.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough, man. It's a little rough. But again, Baker has all the chips on his table as far as coming through with this contract, bro. He just has to show up. He just has to show up.
That's the whole point here. I already said earlier, Can he play this season and all of a sudden he takes these leaps? Sure, anything's possible. Anything's possible. For sure. But what I'm telling all of you, and it's undeniable, guess what? He is not the 6th best linebacker in the NFL, and he's being paid like it. Period.
I agree, man.
Hey, Keith, bro, go talk to the coaches. Don't come here anymore, bro. You're gone, buddy. So there you go. And all this trust and all this love, we've already gone over the resources, how they've been used. Secondly, have they even made the playoffs?
No.
What have they done to earn this undying loyalty yet?
Not sure, man. Not sure.
And no, I never said myself that Ogba's sacks and pressures were schemed. I said Baker's were, John Carlos. So again, quote me correctly if you're going to quote me. I said Baker's, not Ogba's. Ogba was fighting through double teams. What are you on, bro? Bro, these people. Oh my God. Casuals. They kill me, bro. Every time.
Watch the film. Just gotta watch the film, man.
Like, that's it.
And again, reason it's not that you're upset at Jerome Baker.
No, I'm not at all.
Nah. Jerome is Jerome.
Bro, I actually like the kid, bro.
Yeah,
but you also have
he's
to
a good
realize
player,
what he is, bro.
Yeah, he's a good player, but he's not the 6th highest paid linebacker.
That's the issue, bro.
That's the only thing.
He's not the 6th. He is not the 6th best linebacker in the NFL. Yo, Big Boy Sports. Yo, take your fat ass out of here, bro. You're gone, buddy. I don't even need you around here, dude. You used to suck up to me in EM like it was ridiculous, bro. You're a jabroni. You're gone. Bro, just because who doesn't have the right to call out a bad contract, bro? Ball game's a huge Baker fan, and he's in the contracts saying that he doesn't like the contract himself either. And he's a Baker supporter because he's realistic. Ballgame loves Jerome Baker. Loves the player. Like me, knows Flores loves him. But Ballgame's still saying, I don't like the contract. I knew he'd get paid, but I don't like the contract.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you any less of a fan of the team. Good God.
But like you always say, it's about maximizing the resources, man. That money could have been allocated to certain spots where,
bro, if we would have made him a top 15, if we would have made him a top 15 paid linebacker, I would not have no fucking problem with it whatsoever.
Even at 11, even at if
bro, I would have no problem with that.
No issue. But top 10, number 6, yeah.
That's where I'm at, bro. Like, and I actually really love Jerome Baker, the person.
Yeah, man.
I think he's a fantastic person, bro. I love his willingness to adapt from a 4-3 outside linebacker to what he is in this. I love it, bro. I also love the fact that I was right about how he'd be best utilized last year. They did it, and they made me look right. I love that fact. But at the end of the day, I still got to call a spade a spade.
Yeah, man. I'm with you.
So, again, people are asking, 28.4 of it is guaranteed. So, about $9.47 million a year.
This honestly has less to do with Baker and more to do with Xavier and
Let's get back to that. 110%. Yeah, let's get back to that. Now what? Think of you're Xavier Howard. Here's the thing. This is my whole point, people. You made him the 6th highest paid linebacker in the NFL, and he's not that. Xavier Howard is
at top worst, 5 corner.
At worst, I was going to say at worst, the top 3 corner in the NFL. At worst, but I'll go with your top 5, okay? Let's put it there at top 5. What the hell you got to pay that guy now, bro?
For him to stay.
This is where I'm going with this, man.
Yeah,
Take
man.
Ogba out of the equation because Ogba, you performed
You're gonna get
amazingly
paid.
and you did it for 1 year.
Let's see what
Cool.
happens now.
The thing with Baker and X is they're tenured Dolphin players.
True. They were drafted by
Okay?
us.
That's the difference, all right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. They're tenured guys. And X has no more guaranteed money on his contract, and he's going to be 28, so he's creeping up on 30. Obviously, he's going to want more guaranteed money, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this would be as easy as, converting the money in his final years into guaranteed money. You'd also create cap space by doing that, right? But, my whole point is you took care of Jerome took care of Jerome Baker before you took care of your best player on the team, let alone the defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this issue lies at. And you made Baker the top 6 highest paid linebacker in the NFL.
Mm.
All right, I got to bring this up. We'll look at this from Barry Jackson here because Barry Jackson dropped an article about it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what Barry Jackson said. 2 days after Jerome Baker said he wanted to finish his career with the Dolphins gave a 3-year contract extension to the 4th-year linebacker on Sunday. Baker agreed to a 3-year, $39 million extension. Drew Rosenhaus told the Miami Herald and others the deal includes $28.4 million guaranteed. The average annual value is the 6th highest among NFL linebackers. So it doesn't kick in next year; it kicks in the year after. By the way, right? Well, it kicks in next year, right? Because this year he's still on that rookie deal. Baker had one more season remaining on his rookie deal, which will pay him $2.4 million this year. In 2020, Baker took a step from a decent starter to an above-average one, achieving a career high in sacks with 7 and ranking 28th in the league with 112 tackles. So even his 112 tackles that everyone loves to fucking hang their hat on was 28th in the league. Of the 43 players who had at least 100 tackles that season, Baker and Tampa's Devin White were the only who had more than 5 sacks.
Okay. That's decent company.
Yeah, but Devin White is a legit.
He's the next Ray Lewis.
yeah, but he's also like a legit, middle linebacker. He's not blitzing off the ball, right?
That's true.
So he only had 9 pressures in 129 pass rushing opportunities, but his 7 sacks in that few pass rushing snaps was exceptional. Overall, Pro Football Focus ranked him 37th of 83 qualifying linebackers and 58th against the run. This past season, he allowed 44 of 59 passes in coverage area to be caught for 403 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 98.7 rating in his coverage area. Baker said on Friday, I want to play here the rest of my career. I love it here. I love the fans. I love the organization. I love everyone. I can definitely see myself playing here for a long time. Last year, he was 25th on the Dolphins in base salary, making just $810,000. He was on the field for 84% of the Dolphins' defensive snaps last year. But if you do remember, there was that one game, right, where he had under 60% of the snaps because they were clearly trying to send him a message. I think it was like week 5 or week 6. He said, I love this team. I love being out here. I love being on this team, being out here, getting back to football. It ultimately helps me in the long run. The contract stuff's the contract stuff. I don't really care for that right now. So Baker, an excellent blitzer, showed progress as a pass rusher, producing a career-high 15 pressures on 99 blitzes. Like I said, use him as an off-ball blitzer. That's his best skill set. That's how they started using him. And boom, that's why you got what they just said right there. So, Baker becomes the second member of the Dolphins 2018 draft class to sign an extension a year or less before unrestricted free agency. The Dolphins previously gave a 5-year, $22 million contract to Jason Sanders, the team's 7th round pick in 2018. So before Baker got his new deal on Sunday, the most recent linebacker to receive a large extension from the Dolphins was Kiko Alonso, and we all know how that worked out, who was given a 3-year, $29 million contract extension, which guaranteed 18 and a half. So the Dolphins traded linebacker earlier this season, Shaq Lawson, for linebacker Bernard McKinney, who's due $7 million in base salary in 2021 and 8.5 in 2022. So I mean, even when Barry, a lot of the stats that Barry threw at us didn't do a lot of
Too much
justification
justice. Yeah, yeah,
to being the sixth highest paid linebacker, bro.
yeah, man. Yeah, and again, you even mentioned it's a team friendly contract. How they're trying to describe it, but um, what like how you were saying earlier, what are your guys, Xavier and Emmanuel Ogba, gonna think about this when it's time to come back to camp, bro? And
Yeah.
they're both looking for extensions, and this happens. You know what I mean? It means something for your top player, arguably the top corner in the league, to be requesting a new contract and it not be granted. It's tough to watch, but we can see, we're gonna see what Baker's made out of, man. With this type of pressure put on him, let's see how he responds. Really, I want to see that.
And Tagovailoa X has a $75 million contract. He's making 15 a year. He's not making 15 a year. This year he only makes 12.375, and Byron Jones makes 15.3 million. That's why.
So he feels like he should get paid more than Byron Jones, maybe.
Exactly. Especially because of the production compared to Byron Jones.
Mm.
And X also has no guaranteed money left on his contract in his final 2 years.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. All you got to do is convert that money in X's last 2 years to guaranteed money, and you're okay, probably.
Right.
Because he's creeping up on 30. He wants more guaranteed money. And, okay, the point we're getting at, Tagovailoa, is they're paying Baker before X. And if they're giving Baker the sixth highest annual salary from any linebacker, what are you going to have to pay the guy who's a top 3 at his position?
Unequivocally, a top 3 player at his position.
He's actually a top 3 at his position because Baker's not a top 6. You gave Baker top 6 money.
That's the only thing. It's just
Nicholas
the optics
said
of
it. Nicholas said it. It's setting a bar.
And
And
maybe this does have something to do with the cap being increased in 2022. Potentially that might be the reason why they're like, let's just get a couple of these out the way. That's what that way when the 2022 offseason comes, the guys that really deserve it and have earned it in 2021, they're gonna get the real contracts come 2022. Maybe this is just hurry up, get this off the books, and then moving forward, the guys that are going to be looking for those high paydays are gonna get it. Dependent on their performances in 2021.
Yeah.
Potentially.
And someone asked, Nicholas asked, his reason is Baker top 20? No. I don't think Baker's a top 20 linebacker. I think he's a top 30.
Right.
Maybe. But I don't think he's top 20. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man.
We paid him top 10.
I know. That's the only thing that we're saying that this is it kind of hurts a little bit because the optics of it is like, ugh. Well, what's our main guys are gonna think when they get to the table? I know, man.
Like that's it. He's top 30. He's not top 20 in the NFL.
The number one thing Baker has going for him is, like I said before, that front four, that back four, those guys, they're gonna have to show up, man. Or not that they're gonna have to show up, but he's going to have to use how good each unit is to his benefit. you know, because in coverage they're good. When it comes to creating pressure, they're good. Both ways, he just has to play his part, man. Make plays on the football, bro. That's the number one thing for him now.
He's gonna,
Got
you
to
know
make
what?
plays.
Now there's no excuses, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to take the leap.
I know.
He's got to be more efficient in the run. He's got to be way more efficient playing in traffic.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just he's got to get better in coverage. A 98.8 NFL passer rating when targeted is inexcusable.
He just has to get better all around. Yeah.
9.2 yards per catch when he's targeted is inexcusable because that's telling me you're allowing almost a first down every time you're targeted.
Mm-hmm.
It's just inexcusable. Like, now you need to take the leap.
This season, you're pretty much aiming, if I'm Jerome Baker, for 135 plus tackles. Pretty much the same amount of sacks. 60 or fewer completion percentage when the ball's thrown your way.
I need 30 or more run stops.
Yeah, just casual impact plays a top 10 linebacker normally does. You have to be that guy.
Because his 112, like we said, his 112 tackles that everyone wants to hang their hat on, that was 28th best in the league. That wasn't even top 10.
Just saying, man. Just saying, man. That's a tough contract to watch. If I'm a Dolphins fan, knowing Xavier just asked for an extension.
Why are you laughing? Man. Like you laughing like you loving watching the world. Some men just want to watch the world burn, huh? This guy over here. Ennis Z-Man, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up,
You guys got the point of my rant, right? Like, I ain't mad at Jerome Baker. Go get your bag, young man.
Of course not.
But at the fact that we made him the 6th highest paid linebacker in the NFL, yeah, I'm gonna have some questions. Okay, like,
man,
that's why I'm expecting next year. I don't expect nothing less than being closer to that top 10, top 5 position. Because I mean, we're paying him like that, and I think he is gonna make a leap. You know what I mean? Playing next McKinney, his what's really required of him gonna be a lot less. But at the same time, McKinney's gonna teach him stuff that the linebackers before we really didn't have, because he's a really true a true 3-4 middle linebacker. You feel me?
Yeah.
So he's gonna really teach Baker the aspects of the game, because the physical tools he have all those. Yeah. It's just the mental part.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Opinion. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. To the point where I wish I thought of that, but that's a good point, Z-Man. Like,
hey, you can steal it. I don't really care.
No, that's good. I don't do that, bro. You got that.
And that just goes to show that the linebacker is arguably the quarterback of the defense, because Ray Lewis, infamous, watching film, sun up to sundown. He has to find something that he can take advantage of when he gets on the field. Maybe Jerome Baker is not that type of a film junkie to where he's trying to find every nick and cranny.
I got 13 million reasons why you better become a film junkie right now, bro.
I hope you hang out with Tua to see how the quarterback thinks.
Oh man, nah, he has been. He's been hanging with Tua lately, man. He wants to know what's going on, man. What that film do? But I would hope he really starts taking that to the next level as far as being a film junkie and just committing to the reality of being a real chess piece, in the game. So,
well, I will say he has been reliable. He's been real reliable, though. Gotta think about that too. He hasn't missed a lot of games.
He's been available. Yeah, I agree.
Accountability, best availability is accountability, or however you say it.
The best ability
is availability. Yeah. But 13 million reasons why you want to pay him for availability.
Nah, I know.
That's deep, bro.
I'm trying to look positive. I
know.
Hey, we all are, bro. We trying to find.
But Damien makes the point that we're making, right? Reasonably, do our front office realize what they've started? Ogba are going to want that bag. Probably won't settle for nothing but the max, because now they're looking. They're like, "Oh, you dishing out the money? Oh, you pulling up the Brinks truck? All right, here's what we did.
Oh yeah.
And here's my thing. I said he's a top 30 linebacker, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even asking. I don't even want to see top 10 linebacker this year because I know that's unrealistic. Give me top 15.
Okay.
If you make that leap where I go from saying you're a top 30 to a top 15 guy, beautiful. Because the next year I can sit around and say, maybe he can take the leap now to a top 10 guy.
He just got to keep progressing.
Cool.
That's all the coaches really want.
Oh, there ain't no time for slacking, bro.
Oh yeah, I agree, but I'm just saying he just gotta,
yeah, you're
progress to the next level.
I think that's what this contract equates to. Yeah, my fault, Shreve. What's up, man? Go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing? My take on this is very simple. I look back at DVP's contract, right? At the time, reason you remember we analyzed that it was 11 million at the time, but it made him top 11. It made him a top 11 receiver at the time. You know what DVP is now? Bottom 30 receiver in terms of contract. My point is this. At the time when X got his contract, he was top 3. Right now, X is making what? He's in the top 10 or even below that in contract per cornerback. Now what's happening with Jerome Baker? He's top 6 now. I guarantee you I'll put my salary on the line. By the end of the season, Jerome Baker would be top 30 because guys who is in his tier and his draft class would have already passed him a long time by then. So let's not look at now. Dude, he's not that. But by the time the real linebackers re-sign their own contracts on their own team, we will really see his true contract value. That's my take.
You know what I kind of think of though? Like y'all saw that meme, the not that guy meme. That's what I kind of think of when Jerome got the contract. You're not that guy, bro. You're not that guy.
I thought about that too. He's right though, because the cap is going up next year.
Yeah, it's only going up to like 200 million. It's not like, what is it? I think it's. Let me look.
So I didn't think at the time that DVP was a top 10 receiver, but I definitely.
A lot of other teams are gonna have money though. Reason.
So
that's why he's saying other linebackers are gonna get deals that's gonna push him back down because next year
it's gonna push him back so far.
It's gonna go to a 208.2 million.
Other teams.
What linebackers are in his class?
He's gonna be top 30 minimum by the end of this season because guys are gonna re-up too. It's just
so what do you guys think this means for Xavier Howard? Did you hear what Jeremy Fowler said?
No, which part did Jeremy?
Jeremy Fowler on ESPN said, this is common news, but he says that.
Oh yeah, in his article about when he talked about players that could be traded. Talking about that article. I think I talked about it a couple of days ago where he said like it's the worst kept secret that X wants an extension right now.
That'll be terrible if X decides to sit because of this, bro. Like, wouldn't that be like the worst karma? You know what I mean? That'll be tough to watch, to be honest.
Shit, he come to camp. He might get paid too. Who knows?
I don't think he goes there because they did the last contract based on fake.
To me,
you know what I'm saying?
To me, the smoke screen will never end around this team. It's surrounded by Tua and everything else. They want us to fall. I don't believe that shit. I don't care who it comes from. All right? To me, X is on this team. Trump trying to break us up, man.
Who knows, man?
I don't know. My whole thing is like, is KJ Wright a better linebacker and he's out there on the like super cheap?
I know.
We're talking about that on Ari's platform, hey. And we were talking about big potential contract too, reason. And look, hey, we need to stop talking about players' contracts.
I ain't gonna lie. A linebacker core of Baker, KJ Wright, and McKinney sound way better than Baker, McKinney, and Landon Roberts.
I agree with that.
I'll still try to bring him in.
I still rock with Landon though, man.
Yeah, he's a good player.
That injury sucks. Yeah, the injury sucks, but Landon, man, when he was active last year, that dude was a freaking wrecking ball, bro, in the backfield, man. I don't know.
Did you guys know this? You want to hear something scary? You know, we got Brendan Scarlett from Houston, right?
Yes.
He was actually far better in coverage last year than what Jerome Baker was when he's given the opportunity.
Isn't Scarlett an edge rusher too?
Yeah, he plays the outside too.
That's interesting.
But if they bring in KJ Wright, would they play him inside? Would that cover Landon Roberts?
Yeah, I would.
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
I'll definitely play KJ.
And you rotate him. Like I think Vince Eagle's gonna rotate from the edge to the inside too.
I just wish.
Has anyone noticed we drafted Neville Hewitt and he turned out to really be a good outside linebacker, coverage linebacker? He's having an outstanding career.
Did you guys see that show from I think it's from CW about Neville Hewitt? It's based on loosely on the life of Neville Hewitt. I think it's called All-American.
Oh,
yeah, that's on the
What was that? Yeah. I don't think it was on Neville.
It
was on another player.
Was it on Neville?
Yeah.
Neville Hewitt,
bro.
Nah, it wasn't.
I would get Neville Hewitt because he's a good outside linebacker.
This is what I would have wanted. Okay, 3 years, $30 million, $21 million of that guaranteed.
Yes, that's a solid contract for Jerome Baker right now. Yes,
I could have lived with that.
I think they overpaid him a little bit.
But Drew Rosenhaus,
he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but
I was gonna say Drew Rosenhaus, that dude, man. I don't know what type of stuff he be saying in the meeting rooms, but
I don't know whose wife he has pictures of, bro. But
I don't know what he has on these guys.
I don't think he's going to be a top linebacker at the end of the season. People are going to pass him in salary.
He has to play as.
Oh, he will. There's I was looking at it. There's a bunch of guys that are coming up too.
Who was in his draft
He's
class?
going to be like 30th, man. You think so, Reason? At least 30th in salary by the end of this season.
No, you're not going to drop down 24 spots. Are you crazy?
He probably will maybe go down to 7.
Well, we look at the all-pro linebackers and we look at the ones coming up. I don't think Baker has a shot to stay in the 30 salaries.
What are you talking about, bro? This year, there's only like 3 or 4 big linebackers that are coming up for contracts this year.
But there's 20 guys we would love over Baker, who's on another team.
Okay, yeah. But either or, even with this contract the way it is, I think there has to be a situation where if we don't see growth this year or next year, there has to be some type of restructuring prior to 2022 that we have to say, all right, Jerome, we gave you the extension. You're pretty much around the same place you were last year as far as production. We need to pay this guy. We need to pay that guy. We have to restructure your contract. If Baker's cool with that, then that's cool. But again, now it goes back to the conversation. Are we maximizing our resources now? Because as much as we want Baker to succeed, we haven't seen much of that since he's been in the league. So I don't know.
And this says a lot about them. If he's gonna have snaps a game, like Reason studied on the all 22, just send him blitzing. Don't do anything else. For that 30 freaking million, just send him blitz, man. Just let him blitz. Don't let him do anything else.
If you get 10 sacks, that'll be pretty good.
Because that's what he's good at. We need him to just be good at what he's good at. Don't try to be cute.
Shoot, man.
Yeah, so like at the end of this year, just some names to throw out there. TJ Watt's going to be up for an extension. Rashawn Evans, Leighton Vander Esch, Jayon Brown.
What about the dude from Buffalo?
Hassan Reddick, Anthony Barr. Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds is going to be up. Dante Hightower.
I like Tremaine.
Von Miller, obviously, if he resigns, will probably be up because they'll probably do a small deal.
I like Tremaine.
Tremaine's a beast, bro.
Didn't we pass on Tremaine Edmonds in 2018 for Mika? I think we did.
Fred Warner's going to be up for a deal.
We did.
Yeah,
that's 13.
Yeah, man, I like Fred.
That's 13.
So yeah, man, I think we're stuck with Jerome, bro. We ain't getting none of those guys.
So if 13 of those guys resign, Jerome is out of there in terms of top
No,
line.
that's not. I didn't name 13 guys. I named like 6 or 7.
Mm.
I counted them. Count them again.
Look,
TJ Watt. TJ, well, you better go back to math class, bro. TJ Watt, Rashawn Evans,
from Tennessee.
Yeah, Jayon Brown,
Tennessee.
Hassan Reddick, Anthony Barr, Dante Hightower, and then Tremaine Edmonds and Fred Warner.
That's not bad. Those are all top linebackers, if you ask me.
Yeah.
They're all in the top 20.
Yep.
Yeah, those they're looking at. They're salivating. They're looking at Baker's deal and being like, "Oh baby, oh baby." So what up, Damien?
What's up, man?
Dame.
Hey, how you doing?
What up, man? Yo,
bro, you sound depressed as hell.
Well, I was really just gonna chill today, man, and like after church, start to get ready for work tomorrow, and then I see us. I want to say one thing. This is the whole thing. Okay, what's up, y'all? What's up, guys? I understand this thing of paying for potential, like what we did with X. He led the league and stuff. Then we gave him a lot of money. Or I can even see ADG. You see this potential. Or I can even see Emmanuel Ogba. You know, being he led our team in sacks. But to do this, especially when quiet is kept, we know X wants to extend it, and we have to get out our money. Just a couple years ago, we gave him money when he's the defensive player of the year. That warrants me getting more money. Then when you have a player that led our team in sacks, was a half a sack away from being a double-digit sack master, especially when he's the only threat of rushing the passer on our team, and it's going to be up for free agency this year, and you don't pay him, how do you think they're going to feel coming into free agency? They're going to hold us as hostage. But then you're going to look at a linebacker that has potential that we can say, like, can he turn into a top 15 linebacker? But that's a hell of a jump, especially when he had major deficiencies in stopping the run. True. And only thing he's good for is blitzing. That's all he's good for, blitzing. That's it, and that's all. He's not leaving like an arm who you can stand up or put in the stand. He's not that guy. I mean, he's fast and he's really great in coverage. So if with all these deficiencies, does he warrant top 10 linebacker? And the question is no. But okay, I hope he ball out. Let's imagine he does ball out. Is he more valuable than Xavier Howard or Emmanuel Ogba? Or let's just say, I'm just putting ABG out there. ABG, how can he have a lot of hate on DVP? But he's not more valuable than DVP when they're healthy. To be honest,
it's justified.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I hope they see something. I hope they see what I can't see. Because at the end of the day, I love the Dolphins and the passionate fans. They get paid for this. But damn, right now it doesn't look good. But this could all change to see if he can ball out, be a Pro Bowl star. He better be for that damn money. But as of right now,
they'll tell you.
It's questionable as of right now. But it could change. It damn sure could change.
So listen. So I get it. I didn't think he'd. What's up, guys? I didn't think he'd get this type of money. I really didn't. But I knew that he was going to be a part of this process. But I also understand, to some degree, what they're looking at also, right? Like scheme familiarity is something that we've always been talking about for both sides of the ball, right? And although Jerome hasn't done all aspects of the job extremely well, what he has shown to be more so than anything is a Flores guy, a guy that'll go out and do whatever I ask him to do, regardless of whether he's well equipped to do it or not. He's gonna give me everything he's got. So
that's true.
To look at it from a coaching perspective, I would rather, and from my background, I always love to have a bunch of guys that aren't good at just one or two different things, but can collectively go out and just give me their best effort, regardless of whether I'm trying, wherever it is I'm trying to deploy them, right? And believe that over time they will get arguably and more decisively better at their job, right? Once I get them completely acclimated to what it is I'm asking of them completely. And I believe that this is a future contract based on potential of what Flores sees Jerome Baker's ability and how he's going to fit into the next couple of years for this team. So I don't think at any point right now, when all of these at the end of this season, when those other guys get their deals, Jerome Baker's deal is going to look like a drop in the bucket compared to what them other guys are getting, because we all know that those other guys are way better at what they do. Fred Warner, Edwards, all those guys are way better at being interior middle linebackers and things of that nature. I just know that when it comes down to it, there's a certain level of comfort that a coach wants as well with his players on the field, and he's established that with Baker. And
that's a guy that he developed too.
That's a guy that that's a guy that, although the stats don't jump off the screen at you and things of that nature, the dude hasn't missed a game. The dude has been there. The dude has been done everything the coach wanted him to do and more. That's what he got paid for. I think it's a little much. I do. Y'all know I'm a Baker fan, but at the same time, I wouldn't have given him $13 million. But at the same time, I knew that that's not a guy that I'm gonna let go somewhere else and flourish. Especially because it's hard to find.
He's only 24 too.
And he's 24 years old. So
that's pretty young.
We still don't know what his ceiling is, right? Especially when you consider we started with a 4-3 scheme. Now we switched to a hodgepodge of a hybrid in terms of however, because we deploy many different fronts, right? Yeah. So his role in all of this changes with the offense with the opponent that we play. So to have a guy that's willing to go out and put himself into precarious situations just for the benefit of the team and try to do his best on the field, that's huge from a coaching standpoint. Now, from the money side of it, I'm thinking, hell, you probably could still go get somebody
he's always available.
Better. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. I understand it. And I understand y'all frustration with it, but I think this was more so one of those things where he was just saying, Flores and Grill just saying basically, hey, this guy sold out for us, bro, when he didn't have to. We got rid of his running mate, Raekwon, and we kept him, and he's been here. Has he statistically been the best? No, but he's been here. Right?
And ball game up. I'm also thinking, is this also tied to our rookies? Because our rookie guys, as far as Jalen Phillips and Javon Holland, their rookie contracts is gonna probably be on the same par as far as year to year with this new extension for Jerome.
They go into their option year when his extension ends.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, was this intended for the Miami Dolphins scheme, like how it all lines up together?
Well, so here's
was it intended for to keep those guys together as three phases of the football?
Because you're building them. Yeah, you're building them. You build at each level. Defensive line, you know what I'm saying? Well, however they deploy Phillips. But yeah, you want to be able to at least have a stalwart at each one of those positions. And we can look at his production thus far and be like, okay, it's been kind of subpar at times and things of that nature. But in the same sense, no one can argue that he can get better. You see what I'm saying? And with Phillips, and he has to get better right now at this point. While you're paying him up, you're paying him based off of what you feel his potential is. So, and I believe that's what they're doing, man. I believe that's what Flores is looking at and saying, you know what, even if it comes down to it, where let's say he's top 15. Well, shit, to say you got a top 15 middle linebacker in the league out of 32 teams when there's two linebackers on each team, that's 64 guys, and he's number 15. That's a fucking right. That's an accomplishment.
Cisco nailed it. I ain't tripping on anyone getting his money. He just better play up to the money. And like I said, I think we can all agree he's like a top 30 guy. I want to see a leap to where I can say he's a top 15 guy. Right. You know, I'm not even asking for top 10 right now, you know? Right. And everyone's right. He has improved every year. There's no denying that. But you got to continue improving.
You got to keep getting better.
And I'll say this. After that crappy game when Flores started to put him in edge blitzing positions when he became successful, the percentage of using Baker was successful after that. So are they paying him on his last 50 snaps of last season moving into this? Because he was bullshit the first 3 weeks. We went over it all the time in all 22. He told Van Noy he would do this, and Van Noy and him end up going to the running back and Josh Allen's up the middle. So after that, we saw an improvement. The improvement might have led to
because they didn't use it as a mic.
They didn't use it as a mic anymore, though.
Yeah.
Listen, what you're going to see even this year, coming into the beginning of this season, there's going to be a lot of defensive continuity, right? Just because you ain't got a lot of guys back, but there's going to be lapses. There's going to be things that they're being introduced and asked to do that are going to be new to them, but not foreign to, they're going to be foreign to them, but not new to them in the sense that they just do it in practice, but they never got a chance to actually do it in live game situation. But Boy is calling the plays, so it's his job to ensure that whatever execution plan that he has in place, they can execute it to 100%, right? But there's lapses. It's just like offense, right? There's lapses at times where guys have brain farts. So a lot of that stuff we'll see probably in the first and second game. Unfortunately, this is the Patriots and the Bills. But if nothing else, this defense, and we have to also deal with, there's a learning curve, even though he's been in a 3-4 system. There's going to be a learning curve for McKinney as well.
True.
It's inevitable, right? But you're hoping that they're getting all that stuff some of it at least ironed out now. But it's a little different when you got somebody else that's not your teammate wearing your same colors on the opposite side of you. So we got to deal with that. But our struggles on defense won't be nearly what we're going to have to deal with on offense. And I'm just thinking that what they're looking at doing now is trying to secure as much as possible in terms of personnel early as opposed to late. Because if Jerome Baker goes out and he gets 135 tackles and 10 sacks, he'll be paying him. We'd be paying him a lot more than what we paid him just right now. Guaranteed.
Let me ask you, I got to ask you this ball game. Sorry, Damien. And I'll let you.
You're good, brother. Mm-hmm.
In your mind, you've been around secondary players.
Yep.
Okay, let's take Ogba out of the equation because he's only worn the colors for 1 year. Yes, third most in pressures, fifth most in sacks, second most in hurries. I get all that. Xavier Howard, like Baker, is a long tenured Dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Howard wants more money.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier Howard's top 3 at his position, undeniable. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They paid Baker and made him the 6th highest paid at his position when he doesn't perform up to that standard.
Mm-hmm.
How's X now looking at this with mandatory minicamp coming up in just a few days, bro?
That was my question.
Jerome. Hey, Jerome, get your chips, but your negotiations are different from mine. And he's looking at it and thinking to himself, they'll do right by me. If he knows, right? All he has to do is at this point right now, bro, they're not looking to. I don't think they're looking to do anything other than appease him. But they just got to figure out how they're going to do it, right? So if he just stay patient, I'm sure without a shadow of a doubt, they'll figure out a way to be able to pull some of that future money to bring it forward, to give it to him, so that all this can be gone and done and out of the way. And then it's just a matter of the numbers, right? I don't necessarily. No one really knows what he's asking for, right? But who's the top guy right now? Is it still Ramsey?
Yeah, I think it is. But here's the thing: X makes like 12. X makes $12.375 million this year.
Yeah,
somewhere around there, and Byron makes $15.3 million this year.
Yeah.
So you got to at least. Yeah. So you have to at least give him $1 million. Basically, you really got to come up with basically $1 million more than what you're paying Byron.
Yeah.
My question is,
which is doable, but it just. Go ahead.
Do we know that?
I just wanted to add this, Damien. The difference with X is not only our best defensive player, he's the best player on our team.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, that's my thing. Like, okay, with the Ramsey money, what Ramsey's per year contract?
I'll look it up.
What does he get per year? Because that's the question. I think even though he's going to want more than Byron, Ramsey's the standard. He's going to say, I got Raw for defensive player of the year. I had 10 damn picks. He's going to want Ramsey money. He's going to want his jump. I mean,
he makes. So Ramsey signed a 5-year, $100 million contract with a $25 million signing bonus, 71.2 guaranteed, and an average annual salary of $20 million.
Yeah, and look, this is the thing. That Baker contract exaggerated the point of I want to be the highest paid corner because he's looking like it. We can sit in long. He's been with the Dolphins his whole damn career. Longer than Baker.
Yeah,
I mean,
for me though, bro, I think what it might come down to is them being able to get him to accept being the highest paid Dolphin.
Yeah,
because at this point, right? If this thing is going to be completely all about team first philosophy. We want to pay you. We want to pay you what we feel you are worth. But in the same sense, we can't break the bank to sacrifice you and sacrifice the better end of this team for you. You feel what I'm saying?
And I understand that completely, brother. That's what I'm saying. Like, what do we do now? Are we going to be looking for suits? But I say that we should pay him $20 million. I can't dictate nobody's money, but I would say no. Overall, Jalen Ramsey to me is a better quarterback. But
you just put him in the top three. Put him in the top three.
Right. I get his gripe. I mean, it's warranted. But I don't feel as well as though I would like to pay him that money. I think
ball game nailed it, Damien.
Yeah,
I think ball game nailed it, Damien. If you make him the highest paid Dolphin, he'll
be fine. Yeah.
Right.
Because you know what the thing is? He's got 2 years left on his contract, and the issue is none of that money is guaranteed.
Guaranteed, exactly.
Yeah. And he's going to be 30 by the end of that.
Okay, yeah. So he wants a little bit more guaranteed money to bump up the guaranteed money.
That's why I said my first option would be taking the last 2 years he has and turning it into all guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money.
Because it also alleviates cap space too.
So what we looking like at least bumping up to at least about 16.5, 17 a year to make him happy?
$1 million to $1.5 million above what Byron Jones is making, and we good.
Absolutely. Right. I agree with that.
Because ain't nobody else gonna get a contract worth more than that. You know what I mean? No. And then you good. And you good for them. You good for Byron and him to ride out together. Good for all these young guys to matriculate and everything to jail, and then we ride out. You know what I mean? With no issues. They just and I believe that might be the plan. They just, you know what I mean? They're going to do it because it's not. Listen, at the end of the day, it's not a requirement right now because he's under contract.
Yeah, but that's about sitting out camp-wise with the distraction with that. Because that's what he's doing. I mean, that's his leverage.
Well, here's a kicker. Are you really worried about that at this point now from X? Him sitting out, you think he's going to lose something?
Am I concerned about him sitting out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to. I think it's. I'm assuming that after, especially, I was a little leery before this happened of him possibly sitting out. But
what I'm saying is, if he sits out all the training camp and he shows up and he's there game one, does it really matter?
No, you're gonna get balling out X.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah,
so anything that happens between now and the first game of the season, it's just a part of the posturing between him and his, between the organization and him. Right. But I do believe that without a shadow of a doubt that they are going to do everything they can to make him happy. They just got to figure out, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not as easy as we make, as we might think it is for them to do this, but they'll do it. They just got to figure out how to do it so it doesn't hurt anyone and their chances of being able to get any of these other guys signed down the line that they may want to hold on to long term. Right. So, it's.
And let's be real. If there's any players on the team that deserve contract extensions, it's players on our defense because they were clearly our knight in shining armor of getting to 10-6. So they have to pay these guys.
I think Ogbah's issue is, although he had fairly decent stats before he came to us, him having this season he would need 2 seasons. For us, right? The last year was his proven season, right? Mm-hmm. I think they're gonna want to see if he can actually do it again. Now and that might be the only. He might be the only one where they'll actually say, you know what? Let's see what it looks like. Maybe going through to the middle of the season. You know what I mean? And if he's on pace, then at that point to at least match what he got from last season, or even surpass it, then they'll be signing mid-season, and you ain't got to worry about it going into the offseason and him dealing with negotiation with other teams and things of that nature. Only thing they got to do is have him sign before week 17. Because, at the end of the season, before the playoffs start, once that's over then, the Dolphins, they get first dibs, but he can talk to whoever the hell he wants. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So as long as they take care of it before the end of the season, Agba. You know what I mean? Then you're good. Yeah. No, I'm not talking about X. I'm talking about Agba. Yep. But, and I believe that might be the move too, right? Because at the end of the day, I want to believe that he was able to do a lot of what he did individually on his own, but some of the scheme helped a lot of what we did, especially when you got pressure coming from everywhere. You got one-on-one. He had a lot of one-on-one situations that if it wasn't for the pressure that they were presenting from all the other different facets of the defense and other locations, he might not have had those one-on-ones and got being picked up double teams, and then he wouldn't have had the sacks. So, to some degree, they might just want to see, okay, was this? At least from a defensive standpoint, that's what I'd be looking at. If I was his coach, I'd be thinking, okay, I believe he can do it. but I at least want to see a larger sample,
my only
a little
thing,
bit more.
My only pushback to that would be, this is a pressure schemed offense. Third most pressures of any defensive end. Second most hurries. You know what I mean? He did handle his fair share of double teams. And the reason why me and EM were so excited about when we signed him, if people go back and watch, I predicted him to have a double-digit sack season. He was half a sack away from that. It's because the reason why you knew he was going to be perfect in the scheme is he has that rare combination of athleticism and strength. He can convert speed to power or power to speed at a really high rate. And I agree with you. My only problem is I'm actually more. Here's the thing. I'm more worried about Ogba sitting out than
X.
I don't think X is going to miss time. Ogba's the one that worries me, and I think it's because he knows what we know. He's the perfect fit for what they're trying to do defensively at that position.
Right.
And them drafting Jalen Phillips might have put the pressure under his ass to say, okay, give me my money. You just drafted that young kid. I want to make sure I'm sticking around a part of the plan. We'll see how it goes, but he's the one I'm worried about sitting out, not X. Because if you actually go back to it, X had excused absences for the voluntary workouts.
Right.
Ogba didn't. So, but I think you did nail it you nailed the nail on the head. Just make him the highest paid Dolphin.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to pay anyone more than what if you pay him $17.5 million, even $16.5 million, they ain't handing out a contract that high in the next few years to anyone, bro.
No one.
Unless you're the quarterback. You know what I mean?
He's the only one we got to worry about. That's 4 years from now.
Yeah,
they'll definitely take up that option, that 5th-year option with him, and then figure out how to get him in there. But even then, nobody else on this team, I don't think, is going to command a contract even remotely.
How I feel, ball game. I have a feeling that Tua is going to be the one that takes the team friendly deal.
Yep.
If he's around by that time and if he's playing at a high level, I think he'll be the one that takes a team friendly deal.
Which will be one of the biggest blessings anyone has ever given to this organization, because that's where you need it at the most.
I agree.
But let me ask you this. Here's the question. Okay, so Baker has this year. Then he's got 3 years tacked on. So we've all said that's the 4-year contract. That's the 4-year window of all the rookies we just drafted this year, okay?
Right.
X has 2 years. What are you doing? Are you giving him a 2-year extension? And converting the next 2 years into guaranteed money, giving him a lot of guaranteed money in the 3rd year, and then the 4th year's the out?
Yep, I would. Because if you think about it, right, Phillips and Waddle will both probably exercise. They'll probably exercise the 5th-year options on those guys as well, depending on how they do. So that buys us. I would. I'd make sure that at the very least, he finishes his tour with us as a Dolphin. He retires as a Dolphin. If that's the case, if he chooses to play past, what would that make him? 31. So you figure this season and then 2 more. So 31. He'd be turning 31. If he chooses to do it, whatever he chooses to do after that point, now I feel like I would have got my money's worth of having the best that Xavier Howard had to offer. Because at 32, then it's a stretch. But convert the year, give him more guaranteed money over the course of the next 3 years, and then roll back the guys that we drafted in the second. Because even Holland's gonna be a blessing, because he'll come up early before, and then we'll have to worry about the 5th year. But at that point, you could also probably sign him early too, and then go ahead and extend him out, because the cap's still moving, right? As long as that cap's still moving up, and we do things proactively and don't oversign bad contracts. Agba's what, 27? So you give him.
I gotta look at that. I think he's 26.
He's 28.
He's like
28.
He's 28.
I think
Most
he's
of the guys
27.
sign
Right?
on 2-year deal.
He's on the upper.
They'll be out there by 28.
Yeah,
He's
you're right.
30.
He'll be 28 in November.
He'll be 28 in November. Okay, so even with him, bro, I don't think they're looking to have anybody, bro, over 30 on his roster. So his replacement technically his replacement is already in the building, but they're gonna flex him out to do other special things with him because he's that type of a special kid. But in the same sense, if he's productive, which I believe he will be, right? I think the injury issues that he had are past and behind him, then fuck it, just pay him too. But he just gotta know that like it ain't gonna be no top 3 money for him. Like this is a part you're a part of a front seven that collectively, you know what I mean, is working together. I mean, that's really what it comes down to at this point, right? We got to get our guys now at this point to believe in the team over me process, and that's a hard sell sometimes, especially when guys are looking at what other cats are making, you know what I'm saying, around the league. But we have a luxury that a lot of other players, when they sign those contracts, don't. Shit, we got 8 or 9 games that we're gonna play in the state of Florida that ain't no taxes coming out of that check.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They making more, so that's always a selling point. Like, yeah, you look at the raw numbers. Okay, he might be making more, but he getting taxed more, so he ain't bringing home as much as you bringing home. Yeah. Right? All that stuff factors in.
I think this is tactical 2-ball game. I mean,
yeah, it have to be at this point now. You have to be to build
tactical for the rookies, right? For the rookies to look up at this, right?
Yeah. We did ourselves a favor and a discredit, I believe, in doubling those wins last year. Now, if we hadn't hit 10, say we was at 9 and right outside of the, and nobody gave us a shot in hell of making the playoffs and things of that nature, then it would have been a lot easier then at that point to do negotiations. But when you upward trending like we are, and these cats start to understand what their value is, right? And and other teams around the league also start to look to try to take pieces away from you, even though even the pieces that we don't value, people are looking at saying, well, shit, they make the playoffs and shit. That's playoff potential that we don't have over here. I'll take that guy. You know what I mean? So it's a really, really weird, dichotomy that has to take place when you in the balancing of it all, right? To get guys to say, listen, this is all the money they're giving us to work with. Y'all know this guy's gonna command this much, but this is what we got left to work with. What number would work for you so that you would still feel like you getting what you deserve and to be a part of this team? Because there's got to be some of those type of negotiations happening with a lot of these players, bro. Like you have to have those. You have to have those real deal conversations. Like we'll give you some other incentives and things of that nature, real easy ones, right? In the contract, your base salary has to be this though for this to work, but we'll incentivize you elsewhere, right? And we'll give you perks, right? You don't have to worry about other certain things at the stadium and this, that, and the other. And we'll take care of other stuff. Hell, we'll even take care of probably your utility bills, and you know what I mean? Because I know teams that do that. Teams that pay the water, the trash. They pay the utility bills for the players, just so the player because at the end of the day, if the players got to pay all that shit, then it's coming out of that money that he's making, and the player want to be able to have the most money they can make to take care of their family, their initial needs first. So, if a dude ain't got to worry about paying for his say he ain't got to worry about paying for his rent for a whole 2 years or 3 years that he with the team. That's a hell of a deal considering where they living. You know what I mean? If the team is taking care of it, so a lot of stuff gets done behind the scenes that we don't even know about, but. They have to be real crafty about how they do this, because the last thing, I don't think they're ever gonna go back to overspending, bro. And unfortunately, some guys, they learned. Well, that's the best part about it. We learned the lesson, and it's I don't know. I like it. I don't believe 13 in the mid 13. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to it. 13 is a bit high for me, right? I would have been more inclined to stay in the, the 7.5, maybe 8 range total, but I'm not Flores and Griff, but I understand that they're paying for potential. You know what I mean? They're hoping that this guy continues to trend up year after year, and maybe by the end of this contract, when he's 28, looking at with 28, 29, you know what I mean? They'll have somebody else in place behind him that we've gotten what you feel is your money's worth out of him. With the Super Bowl behind them, you know what I mean? So,
Rhino, what are your thoughts on it, bro?
Rhino.
Hey guys.
Rhino.
I was shocked. I was literally shocked by 2 things. We talked about it last night.
I know, eh?
Yeah, we all put out our numbers. I would have accepted $10.5 million. Would have been happy with that. But my thing is, listen to you guys. I think you're making great points. I think this is a culture signing more so than a future talent projection for him. I think this sends a message to X, to Agba, to everyone out there. If you're one of our guys, we will take care of you. Okay. And I think this is telling them, don't hold out. You hold out, you're sending us a really clear message. That's the way I feel. Because why are you signing this guy on a Sunday? This is like, to me, a little weird signing time. This is better for the end of training camp, which is today the end of training camp for them?
No.
Okay. No, well, I mean the pre-camp, the short training camp.
Friday
was. That's the day to do it, or the day before. If I'm looking for PC, for coverage and stuff like that, that's the day I do it. Maybe on a Wednesday. Sunday seems a little weird to me.
Well, do you remember what he said in his media availability on Friday, where he said we haven't even really talked the contract stuff.
Yeah. He seemed a little too happy to me.
Yeah,
he knew it was coming. But
but we've been saying it for the longest time. I mean, I have anyway, that he was gonna be here. It's just a number, but this number, if the number was not, what is it? If it was $5 million less a year, would anybody be upset?
No.
Okay, see,
I wouldn't have been upset if $30 million over 3 years, $21 million of that guaranteed.
But right. See that it sends these guys are all tuned in. They know what he's worth, and they know they overpaid for him. Okay, that's a fact. Okay, there's no way of spinning that. Now, why did they overpay him? I think it's a culture verification to the rest of the team. Paying him an extra $3 million a year to send a message to everyone, maybe it saves you money in the long run. I don't know. I like Baker. I think he's talented. I think he'll improve. Is he going to improve to $13 million a year? God, I hope so.
Yeah.
But and Sharif, I don't see him being the top 30. Maybe top 18, maybe top 15 by the end of the season in salary. That's a big drop, man, in 1 year. From 6 to 30.
Ain't dropping that much. Yeah.
Well, I named the guys, right? There's only 6 or 7 guys that could bump him down.
So best is going to be 13th. At worst, 13th.
Yeah,
13, 14, 15.
Great points.
So.
I'm happy he signed. I think it sends a message. I think I'm worried about X personally. Because
you know what I think the timing was, Rhino? Because you made a damn good point with the timing that I didn't think about. It's 2 days before mandatory minicamp starts with the rumors of Agba and X possibly not showing up.
Just saying. Just saying.
Just come.
Good point.
Let's see what happens.
Very true.
Come on in, honor your contract, and we'll take care of you. That's how business gets done.
Yeah.
Holding out only creates more headaches that, a team that's trying to learn how to win more games to be in the playoff hunt to actually get towards the Super Bowl. Don't need those type of distractions. So
if they hold out, if they hold out, it's not going to be a good news for them. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Can I like to add on what Rhino said. And that was what I was about to bring up. And what's up, everybody? I just think what Rhino just said kind of tells you. Look at what Baker said. I want to be with this team. I love this team. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of what Rhino said, and I was going to get to that in a minute, but it just shows you that it's kind of like a publicity type of stunt in a way. It's like, hey, if you with this team and you for this team, we got you. We're going to pay you. That's what I agree with Rhino. It's just what Baker said when Baker came out and said, I want to be with this team. And I love this team. I want to be here for the rest of my career and stuff. I'm like, damn, that came out of nowhere. It's like, yeah, I get you. You love this team, but damn, it's like, the infomercials, man. You trying to sell something? You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Well, to some degree, when you are as close and it's obviously seen around, and the head coach is talking about you the way he talks about you, you have to sell it. Right, you have to be the face and the voice of reason, and no pun intended, in regards to making sure guys, are all in, right? Because it's hard. It's it's extremely hard to get 53 people all bought in without there being some.
Can I ask you a question? Sorry to
interrupt.
Yeah, man. Is he a cornerstone player?
Baker?
Yes, sir.
No,
I think they paid him like he was.
Yeah, but Baker is what I said this before at the very beginning. Baker's the type of player every coach, right? From a coaching standpoint, would want a guy that I know without a shadow of a doubt will go out and fucking run through a brick wall for me and no questions asked.
Right.
That's it.
Baker is the guy that's not the most talented.
Right.
He's not the most talented, but he's going to talk to the players where the coaches need him as a conduit to talk to everybody else and be like, hey, this is what we need to do. So he's just a voice in the locker room that people just listen to, man.
He's a coach.
He's your
culture fit. Yeah.
There you go.
Damn, Udonis.
That's a good one, That's a good one, Martin. I like that one.
I'm not saying.
Anybody know what?
I'm just saying as a locker room guy, you know.
Okay, yeah, locker room. Yeah, I got you.
No,
I'm about to say
I
don't remember Udonis playing a single dribble one season. And he was just high-fiving everybody on the bench. I was like, damn, I don't know about Udonis, but
that's a good job.
Udonis' job was to keep all of the young. He was to keep them all together.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
He was a voice. He was a voice of understanding and experience amongst
a player
that
coach.
Yeah, basically, somebody that they know they can relate to. You know what I mean? Because they ain't gonna always understand. You know.
Mm-hmm. But he's always been a locker room culture guy for his whole career. That's what I'm saying. He's been there. He's Art Haslam. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So, in other words,
man. But I still believe Xavier's going to take this a certain way. Bless you.
Oh yes,
I still think he's going to take it a certain way, bro. Just because he's been asking for the longest. Clearly, Byron Jones. If you were to compare both guys in this past season.
Well, what if they said? What if they said? What if they said and they made it clear to him that we don't negotiate? We won't be renegotiating contracts until you're in your last year of your contract.
Mm-hmm.
What if that's
or the year before?
What if that's What if that's an operate? What if that is just the way they operate, and they're not gonna budge on that? Then what does he do?
I wouldn't bluff Xavier. Xavier has all the leverage right now, bro. He really does. Every day he sit, he get fined. But there's teams, not only the Dolphins, there's other teams that are noticing.
He ain't got no contract. He's on a contract for 2 years.
But they're noticing Xavier's not quite happy, right?
Oh, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but he don't have the same type of leverage that Watson had. Xavier Howard don't got no trade clause on his contract.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
you see what I'm saying?
On that level.
He got 2 years. He got 2 years on a contract that he already signed with us. You know what he wants is more guaranteed money, and they said that they would take care. I mean, to some degree, they think they even mentioned that they would take care of him, but he still got 2 years, so he's not even really in a renegotiation year yet. He wants to renegotiate.
Well, no.
I got a question.
He has no bargaining this year.
Exactly. That's my point.
This year's none, zero.
That's my point. Next year he got all the leverage.
All the leverage, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this year he
gone.
doesn't. But I don't think they're gonna let it. I don't think they're gonna let it get to that.
Next question about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is, because I'm a piggyback with what Martin said about X. Does say if XO's in this saying, well, I know Noah isn't ready. And we all know Noah isn't ready. Can he use that? I'm just trying to get every aspect of this because this is I just want my Dolphins to be great.
Yep.
I mean, he was working with Noah, and negotiation time, especially with this agent that he has, they'll throw that up to him. I mean, he can get 5 game checks. So is he willing to lose a game check?
Yeah, but
the thing is too, even if Noah's ready, he's not going to give you the production.
He's going to give you the production.
So say if he was to gamble with this ball game, say he was to gamble and knowing these first 2 games we had, and was to gamble with that. Smith did it.
Here's the message.
I'm just wondering.
Here's the kicker though. Here's the message that they're trying from day one that Flores has been trying to get these guys to buy into is that no one's bigger than the team, right?
Correct.
So if you go out, right, and you know in 2 of the toughest division opponents that we have, and you go and you sit, you think these dudes don't want to deal with him anyway at that point? Because you just basically left You feel me? So
I feel you on that. I feel you on that aspect, but at the end of the day, that's that man's money, and I'm sure.
But Damian, if he holds out this year, he doesn't get that money back. I agree with you. But there is no contract in his lifetime that he can make up $16 million he lost in a year.
Agreed. I totally agree with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate, like wondering,
but you're
like,
right.
would he?
No, but you're right. It's next year. Next year is when he can do that.
Right.
Because the option, the leverage next year is, okay, either you sign me for what I feel I'm worth or let me go. That's his leverage. His leverage is not that I'm going to bring this to the team. That really, that they don't really care about that, I don't think. It's about cap management. Next year is when he has leverage, even though they can get out of the contract. Because you're talking about either he's going to be on the team or he's not going to be on the team next year. That's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can't make up $16 million. No one can make up $16 million.
Yeah, once it's gone, it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. I was just wondering, like, would he gamble that much on himself?
Good Lord.
And sacrifice. I'm just wondering, like, because
maybe he'll gamble 2 games.
Do that to make a statement. You know
maybe
what I'm saying?
Maybe he'll gamble 2 games. Maybe he'll gamble 3 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm just throwing every scenario out there.
People forget when Emmett Smith sat out. Yeah, that's what I brought up, Martin. Yeah, like once Emmett sat out and then you saw the struggle, man, they were like, Jerry Jones, like, hey man, get
but here's the difference. Here's the difference though. The difference right now at this point is that we actually, although he's not the name that we love, we actually have guys that can go out and actually perform in the secondary. It's just not Xavier Howard. With Byron Jones still a part of this secondary, it is still considered an elite secondary. It's just over the top elite when you have
Xavier
Howard
right there
and Jones. You see what I'm saying? But Nick Needham has proven he can play on the boundary. They can slide Noah inside. Coleman is an amazing slot guy. And then you figure it out. Hell, you even got McCourty who can even McCourty can even play corner for you too. So they have guys that can actually play the position. It's just not the name that we've all fallen in love with. So him playing hardball only in this instance, right, puts him at odds with everyone that really truly wants you to be there. They just got to figure out. You just got to give them a chance to figure out how they can productively do it. I don't think they will have a problem with him being the highest paid player. To be honest with you, Gilmore was the highest paid player in New England.
They'll pay their quarterback.
They will pay. They will pay it. You just have to give them an opportunity to get there, to figure it out. Right? Bill scoffed at the idea of it for a minute, but if you look at historically over the course of time, Ty Law got his money. Gilmore got his money. The McCourty brothers ain't never been slighted on money. Chung got his money.
They brought in Revis. Remember they brought in Revis?
Yes, Revis was their highest paid guy when he was there. You feel me? And Flores understands that concept. You need to pay but here's the difference too.
Back to Buckley ball game. Back to Buckley.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I'll just about to say that too.
Sorry,
damn, man, get out of my head, bro.
Sorry.
That's true.
I don't want to give up this luxury, bro. It's a luxury that we have right now, having X and Jones. Supreme luxury that no other team in the league has. But
especially in the
I
AFC,
don't think they're going to be holding. I mean, they're not going to be bent over the rails by a player either. I just don't see it.
The thing is, I think they also know the necessity of needing those two guys in the AFC.
In the AFC East.
Especially when they want to run these Diamond Ruby and these 6 DB packages, when you're going up against if they think they can win now, for example, they know they're gonna have to get through KC.
Yep.
You're gonna need X and Byron.
That's true.
Okay. Look at the wide receiver. Yeah. Look at that wide receiving core that's starting to be built in Baltimore.
Yeah.
You're gonna need X and Byron. You know what I mean? Like they realize that's the way the game's going right now.
Look at the one in Pittsburgh. with Claypool and Juju and
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guys, look at this. They paid X $10 million to sit on the injury reserve in 2019. They've shown good faith to this guy. This is where I have the problem with him.
That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. They have all of that to use in the negotiation process, going back to him. Like, listen, we paid you even when you wasn't even available.
Rough. And the home, the domestic stuff. They could have bailed on him in that moment right there. Boom.
Yeah.
They did.
True. Good points, Rhino.
That's a good point, Rhino. No, you're 100%. I'm just worried about that agent,
bro.
man.
It's an ugly business, but it is one that has to, and in their minds, for this thing to completely work, man, and for it to be exactly what we wanted and needed to be, it has to be fair, right? And he has to actually look at this situation and think to himself, under no circumstances have the Dolphins ever slighted him of what they thought he was.
Yeah.
Not one time.
No,
and I'm all for. Listen, I'm gonna be the first person to tell anyone I'm all for these players because the NBA is completely different. I'm all for any football player getting as much fucking money as they possibly can. But
that's right.
In the NFL, we're dealing with 53 or 63 bodies that have to be paid.
Yep.
Not 13 in the NBA.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different, and they have to take that into consideration too. The business has to make sense. And
they have the soft cap in the NBA. We don't have that. Right? They have the hard cap.
Yeah.
Then NBA, 95% of the contracts are guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
That's true too.
Yep.
All right, boys. I'm gonna go through some final thoughts because I gotta go barbecue for the family.
Nice.
Thank you, Jerome Baker, for setting my barbecue time.
Make sure y'all let y'all kids know, man. It's Children's Day today. So
it's what day today?
Children's Day.
Oh, children have a day now?
Like Mother's Day, Father's Day. There's an official Children's Day.
That's crazy.
Father's Day next week too, right?
Children's Day.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bro, every day is our Children's Day. I don't know what the hell this is, bro.
Especially
when my mom at 72 is sending out tweets thanking us for being amazing children on Children's Day, I have to honor it, bro.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
God bless him.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, ball guy. That's beautiful.
Children's Day, bro.
Yeah, Reason, what are you barbecuing?
Barbecuing some chicken and
Buffalo
some yeah, I know, slice up some bills. Some chicken, some burgers, and out here, Olive Garden left us about 15 years ago. So my wife is making the exact way they make the Olive Garden salad, and then we have the dressing.
That's
so
okay.
It's
funny because I just ate Olive Garden last week.
Rub it in.
You're wrong,
I want to get for lunch. Sorry.
I want to get some final thoughts, though. Z-Man, your final thoughts, buddy.
Just go Fins. And you're still doing the Jared Dose film study tonight?
I'm doing it tomorrow now.
Okay.
Because actually, if people didn't watch Larry's stream yesterday, actually my voice is killing me right now.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen to you.
Bro,
So,
I'm
feeling it, man.
That was a good stream, man.
It was needed, though. It was needed. It was necessary. That's why I didn't say. That's why I didn't hit you up and
Bro,
say
I
that.
thought I was gonna have an EM aneurysm, bro.
You had to get it out.
Man, that was a good. That was a good episode, man.
It's
That was
good
a
to get
good
it out.
episode.
It was good to get all that out in the
Had to be
open.
done.
So yeah.
Sharif,
I recommend watching.
Sharif, your final thoughts, buddy.
Fins up, man. Ball game reasons. Everyone is saying, look, you just need to see more out of Baker. Continuous growth. Top 15.
Yep. Irving, your final thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, man. Baker was a good signing, good locker room guy, winner of the Good Guy Award. Definitely a guy who has a good, strong voice in the locker room. Keep the guys together, keep them positive, especially during a long season. He's one of the up and coming linebackers in the NFL. He's put together already, two 100 plus tackle seasons. He already has 14 tackles for losses, 11 and a half sacks. So that's good numbers, man. I'm worried about that Xavier Howard, man.
EM's nauseated about this contract.
That's how I feel, man.
Bro, I called him. I literally called him after I got the news. He's like, bro, you don't even have to say anything. Like, literally, he answers the phone. Doesn't even say hi. He's like, you don't have to say anything. I feel sick to my stomach right now.
Bro, when Irvin was talking about he's upcoming, I was like, oh god.
I'm just trying to keep it political, bro.
I know. It just it won't let me. I can't do it.
I'm just trying to stay politically correct here.
All right, ball game. Your final thoughts, buddy.
I think across the board, man. When I think about how long it takes some time for players to actually come into their own, especially scheme changes from what they've known all their lives to coming into the NFL, he may very well be a victim of that process, but I don't see there being a limited potential for him if he commits to doing the small technical things that can make him one of the better linebackers in the league and being a little more aggressive at the line of scrimmage. I think defensive line play also helps in that process to some degree, but having McKinney inside of him is going to immensely help him develop as well. He's not a prototypical 3-4 linebacker, but he is what all teams need, and he is a team player and a team scheme guy. So with that being said, I think this is a future potential contract, which I do have faith that he will, to some degree, make us all feel a little bit better about it over the course of the next 3 seasons. And it is what it is, man. I think they'll figure this thing out with X, bro. And I look forward to hearing some great news here in the next couple of weeks that they've satisfied the man's request, made him the highest paid Dolphin of this team currently, and we can move on towards better and bigger goals. So,
yeah, beautifully said, Logan.
Pyro, your final thoughts, buddy.
Well, I'm kind of glad he's still with us. You know, just the money. I really don't feel comfortable with that contract. You know, over Akbar, I'm sorry, that doesn't sit right with me. I just feel like, you know, we could have, you know, at least tried something with X or Akbar first, but you know, can't really. It is what it is. You know, I can't really argue with it. I'm not, you know, on the team or anything, so you just gotta have faith and, you know, fins up.
Damien, your final thoughts, buddy.
First of all, great show, Reason. Honestly, man, great show, man. I needed this today. After the news, I'm gonna thank.
I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about Jerome getting the bag on the day of the Lord, bro?
Man,
he actually he making peanuts this season though, so we okay.
He done robbed the church's offering, man.
Not this year, next year.
Hallelujah, amen.
Hey, I got a question, Damien. Did he interrupt your preaching, man?
I preach next Sunday. Man. I was just gonna come home and chill, man. Then I saw this. I want to thank Mr. Ballgame and Rhino for kind of making me feel a little better about this Baker thing. But I'm still with Pyro. Like, I just, I don't understand it. But at the end of the day, man, the kids. I look at it from this aspect, and Ballgame and Rhino made me see this, made me think about it. And Reason mentioned this too. He's 24. He's so young. That, you know, the potential is there.
Yeah.
It's just that, damn, man, we're in win now mode. If this was last year, coming to last year's season, I could get it. But we're in win now mode, so I'm just hoping it works out and we can satisfy X, and maybe, you know, Agua doesn't do nothing crazy as well. But Scott, at the end of the day, I put my trust in Flores and Greer. And I just want to thank Reason again for this great content, and Larry, man, for the great content, man, because it's much needed, man. And, man, for all y'all, man, bringing forth everything, man, all of us Dolphins, man.
Shout out to Larry.
Fins up. Enjoy your barbecue, Reason. You made me want to barbecue now.
I appreciate it, bro.
And bros.
Rhino, your final thoughts, buddy.
I see your wife there, the shadow. Tell her, hey, have a good barbecue. I think it's going to end up being a positive thing in 2 or 3 years. We'll look back on it.
Did you see a shot? Are you serious?
Yeah.
You saw Shadow?
Yeah.
I did too.
Bro, there's no one else down here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Lord.
Because you'll never leave.
Oh, God.
It's the camera.
The ghost of Jerome Baker.
Yeah, it could be the camera, bro.
It's the camera.
It could be a camera. Or it could be like the reflect off your hat.
Now y'all just trying to make me.
Oh, crap.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
It makes me queasy. My first reaction was I was queasy, but it's basically Next year is the contract. By the end of the contract, it'll look like a small contract. I agree with that. I think they're going to use him in multiple ways. I think Flo has a plan for him, and I think it'll work out. But he needs to improve his run stopping, like he said, and I hope he does. And I hope he proves everyone wrong and fins up.
Yeah, he needs to share blocks.
There you go.
Martin, your final thoughts before I do a cleansing. Before I do my
bring out the rosary beads.
Bring the stage down, baby. I got a bird.
Damien recite a prayer.
Lord's prayer. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Damien, I need you to come and bless my house.
Recite a prayer.
Martin, your final thoughts, buddy.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Again, the signing kind of caught us off guard. But like how Ballgame was trying to explain, this is clearly a team first signing. Like you want to kind of send a message to everyone in the locker room that this is exactly what you need in a player moving forward for what we're trying to build for the future. Everything is about playoffs and the Super Bowl now. So you want to keep guys in there that rehearse that on a daily basis, on the field, in the locker room, off the field. This is just one of those signings. And I truly hope that Baker takes advantage of the guys that he has playing around him right now, because that front four and that back four, we're straight there. Now I just need Baker to play off those strengths and do what we expect him to do after getting paid like this, which is having 130 plus tackles, as many tackles for loss as a top 10 linebacker should have, and just narrowing down those completions around his area. I think Baker knows he has to step up, and I believe he will. So, fins up for everybody.
Appreciate it. I just wanted to say too, Ice Cold, I used to listen to Coast AM with Art Bell heavily. I loved Art Bell was one of one of the dudes. If you want really like creepy stuff, go listen to him with his interviews with Dr. Martin Malachi, who used to be the head exorcist for the Catholic Church.
Hell yeah, I've heard. Oh man.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
All right, boys. So I will be back tomorrow. Preview with Jared Dokes, and I will have a time and date of this week locked in for Nick Hicks, Tua Tagovailoa's trainer. Will be coming on, and I'll be talking to him about Tua Tagovailoa and the offseason, how everything went.
That's a score.
All right, guys. So I will see all y'all tomorrow night when we come back and talk about Jared Dokes. And as always, stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed, and fins up, baby.
Peace.